On average, people spend 30 minutes on Snapchat every day. On average, people spend an hour and 30 minutes on TikTok every day. On average, people spend 50 minutes on YouTube every day. On average, people spend 4 hours and 40 minutes on their phones every day. On average, people spend 5.6 hours watching TV every week. The average usage per day on Facebook is 33 minutes. The average time spent on Instagram is 30 minutes. Average time spent on WhatsApp is also around 30 minutes. It's crazy. Why am I saying all of this? Your relationship to consuming content is deteriorating mental health, overall view on yourself, how you look on your appearance. You're going to be comparing yourself constantly because of how others look. You're going to be comparing your lives, like you're going to have FOMO, fear of missing out, because this person has $1 million, this person has mansion, this person goes to a private school, this person goes to restaurants every single day. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Constantly comparing yourself. This was really an eye-opener for one time. Recently, there was a huge electrical outage. There was no Wi-Fi. We're gonna get it back the next day. My family was at home, so we decided to go on a walk. I was shocked. I've never seen that many people outside on a walk when I normally went with my family. It wasn't like a random time of day. It was around 6 o'clock. The sun was kind of like shining. And when I tell you how many families I saw outside with their dogs was crazy. And we actually spoke to our neighbor when we saw him. And he was like, oh yeah, like the phone wasn't working. So I was just like, I had nothing better to do. So I went on a walk. You had nothing better to do, so only now, when there's no TV, no phones, you decide to go on a walk? Do you have nothing better to do with your time? On an average day for me, I don't spend that long on my phone. It used to be really bad. For example, when I was younger, my closest friend, when I first met her, I was heavily addicted to electronic devices. I brought my tablet with me to her house. And it got so bad to a point where I'd be watching YouTube while we're at the dinner table. How disrespectful, I know. As a kid, I was probably like 10 years old or something. And it got so bad because their parents actually had to tell me to get off my devices. And secretly, I was kind of upset about that because how dare you to tell me to get off my electronic devices? It's like my own device and whatever. Obviously, I went off, but that is so disrespectful, what I did as a child. But just to think that is someone's normal, feel that addicted to their device that they get upset when they get told on their phones, was crazy. And even when you go outside to a restaurant, how many times do you see someone, like as a family, they're sitting down waiting for their food, or they have their food there and they're on their phones rather than talking to the people like around them? Are you kidding me? Do you have nothing, like even if you have nothing to say to your family or friends or whoever's at the table, that is so disrespectful. And I understand if you have to quickly look at your phone or have to respond to an email and you tell the other person that. I completely understand that. But you're telling me literally every single family has the same excuse that I need to send an email. No, I can probably guarantee you that most of them are like, I don't know, on TikTok or Instagram or playing a game. Like, it's crazy to me. And there's another story where I was out on a date once, and I'm so sorry about the barking. It's a puppy. Anyway, it's like opening early days, and I asked him, what time do you normally go to bed? What time do you normally wake up? And he said like, oh, you know, I normally go to bed really late and I normally wake up really late as well because I'm on my phone. And I said, oh, so what's your screen time? He pulls up his phone. Shut up. He spends more than 8 hours a day on his phone. Shut up. No. I've had it. I give up. I don't think she's going to come to me. And now she comes back to me. Okay. I'm saying 8 hours a day on his phone. That was his average. That's a lot of time. And then I pull out my phone And I normally spend like an hour, hour and a half, on a bad day, maybe 2 hours on my phone. And he was shocked by that, and I was shocked by his screen time. And apparently that's normal because he was like, oh yeah, all my friends spend this much time on their phone. Are you kidding? Do they have nothing better to do with their lives but to just constantly scroll and see what's up on the page? Like, especially during COVID, that was the worst for me because obviously that time, like without school, let's be real, no one ever really was paying attention. They were on their phones. Let's be real, no one was paying attention. I would probably hit my rock bottom in life during COVID because I had no purpose at that time. I had no like real hobbies. I was just filling my time consuming content. And let me tell you, I felt the most insecure because I was constantly looking at all these skinny girls, and this is like what I eat in a day, constantly comparing myself. And that's when like my real eating issues started because why do they get to look like that and not me? It's not normal for us to be constantly exposed to other people's lives and what they do. 100 years ago, 200 years ago, this would have been crazy if we told them that this is how we live now. That would have not been normal in those times, but now it's just our normal. We get to see almost anything about anyone's lives with just a touch of our button. What did I just say? With the touch of a button, with the click of a button, whatever you want to call it, you can see almost anything. And that's wild to me. That's crazy. And that is not normal. Even for modern humans, us as humans, if I lived 100 years ago and you told me that this is how we lived, I would be like, what the hell? Like that is awful. Like you're telling me we evolved to this? We have never been so insecure, have had this level of FOMO and addiction and whatever. Embarrassing, honestly. How I improved my screen time was two really like humbling points in my life. One major influence is my closest friend that I'm still friends with now. Coincidentally, it's the same person. The earlier story I had. Somehow she looked past that and now we're like the best of friends now, right? She helped me because she was that girl that never went on her phone. She had hobbies, she always had things to do. And now because she kind of taught me and I kind of taught myself on how to not really be on my phone, I find it crazy when other people are so addicted nowadays, consuming whatever and not really being mindful of what they're looking at. Because now when I tell you that I just have so much to do with my lives, and you won't believe it too, you have so much to do with your lives, and you would realize that if you didn't look at your damn phone the whole day, watching TV all day or whatever. So here are some like easy steps if you really want to try to decrease your time. So how I did it personally, I looked at one app. For example, huge one, TikTok. Ugh. And I can probably guarantee that most people in a day and age spend the most of the time on this stupid app. So at that time, I was probably spending like more than 45 minutes, maybe like more than an hour on this app. I started putting time limits on every single app. So for that app, for example, I first put it to 45 minutes, down to 30, down to 15, and then ended up not needing a time schedule because I trust myself now fully. But if you break that trust of yourself and you push like maybe just 5 more minutes, maybe just more 10 more minutes, maybe just 15 more minutes, and then you broke your trust because it was just like, oh, just one more video, I'll get off. You end up being on your phone for way longer than you expected to. I cannot tell you how many times I have failed with myself and lost trust in myself. Trust me when I tell you that if you keep on practicing and you develop like a strong connection to yourself, you will eventually get to a point where you will listen to your boundaries and be like, okay, I only want to spend 5 minutes on this app and that's it. And now, when you finally learn how to do that, find something to fill your time. For example, here are a couple things you can do. You can draw, read, learn a language, go on a walk, exercise, clean, spend time with your family or your friends, play an instrument, learn a skill, do your homework, study. There are so many things that you can do in this time because you're not on your phone. You will find that you have so much more purpose in life, honestly. Do not beat yourself up about it if you keep on losing trust in yourself because it is so addicting. That's how they programmed it to be. And that's where they want society to be. They want us to be constantly looking at our phones, constantly be distracted because yet again, we wouldn't realize our potential, we wouldn't realize what we could achieve in life. And that's exactly where they want us. They want to brainwash us. They want to put a bunch of thoughts in our head. Why do you think a bunch of sudden, random things start trending online? And why random people get pushed on your For You page more than others? Because they're more beautiful or skinny or whatever. Because that's what they want you to see. And they want you to be more insecure about yourself so you can purchase anti-aging products, you can makeup, you can buy better clothes. You will want to be like the other girls. You want to be like everyone else. Excuse me, I think I'm losing my voice because I'm talking too much. And they want us to be that addicting because more time spent on the apps means more money for them, because that means they can push out more advertisements. And here's another story of how addicted I was and why you should not be addicted. Please, I beg. And now younger people these days and days, as soon as you're birthed out, you're being given an iPad. If I ever have children, I do not want to raise them like that. Honestly, I'll just give them toys because they should not be exposed to this much things online, and especially starting skincare when you're 5. Are you crazy? For example, when I was younger, I would be in the car, would be in the rural areas of Australia. My dad would be like, get off your phone, just look around a little bit. And I'd be like, are you kidding, Dad? I wouldn't actually say this. I'm saying this in my head. He's just old. He would never understand. Who is he to tell me to get off my phone? That's how bad it was. And even on the weekends when my dad's like, the sun is shining, get off your laptop, let's go on a bike ride, let's go on a walk. And I would be like, oh, in my head, I'm like, who wants to do that? Why would I give this up if to go outside? Are you kidding? I'm getting instant dopamine right now. Why would I want to work for dopamine? You know what I mean? And it's so sad because because people these days and days, they will much rather look at their screens than actually look outside and look at the environment around them and appreciate it. Because now I appreciate the world so much more because I'm not constantly distracted all the time. And I want to be more like my grandma. For example, one of my grandparents, my grandma, I love her to bits. She's amazing. Love her. She doesn't have much family around her, so you can't use that as an excuse on why you're on your phone so much. Luckily, we're going to visit her very soon. She constantly busies her days with making things all the time. Now when we're going to visit her, she's filled her garage with things that she wants us to take home, which is definitely not going to fit. Because that's what she likes doing. She found something she's really passionate about. And I love making things too. That's what we share in common. Once you find yourself something that you're so passionate about, love it so much, you would much rather focus your time doing that than rather consuming mukbangs and I don't know what you watch, whatever. So I hope when I'm old, I get to be more like my grandma and I get to just make things and not be constantly distracted on my phone. It's gotten to a point in my family, for example, I spend less time consuming content than the rest of my family, which is kind of funny. It's completely reversed now. My parents spend more time consuming, and so is my sister. She spends more time consuming than me. Once you realize this, the sooner, the better, so you can just actually start living how you want to instead of getting, this person has this, I don't look like that, but she has these beautiful eyes and I could never be, whatever it is. Anyway, I'm gonna end it here. I've yapped for way too long. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you liked today's video, please subscribe. I hope you have had a lovely day, lovely night. It's 12 a.m. Please go to bed. I love you all so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!